Welcome to Hornet Highlights. I'm Matt Ryan, the principal at East Hartford High School. Today I'm joined by one of our school counselors, Adrienne Cote-Parker. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Thanks for joining me here today.
Good to be here.
So we're here today because one of the jobs that Ms. Cote-Parker enjoys, I should say, is that she coordinates the Community Awareness Day. And that's coming up on the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It's pretty late this year.
The 27th.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's on the 28th, actually.
Yeah, and then we only have 3 weeks to Christmas.
I know.
My wife and I are arguing about whether or not we should put up our Christmas decorations during Thanksgiving dinner. What do you think?
Why wait?
Why wait? Okay. She read an article that the more time you have your Christmas decorations up, the happier you are. Yeah. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but.
Well, we debated putting them up earlier because, I have a 3-year-old who's super excited about Christmas.
Right.
And since the holiday is only 3 weeks this year, there's some value to that argument.
And if everybody's happy,
yeah,
it's a better Thanksgiving. All right.
Yeah.
I think we just decided.
Okay.
The Christmas decorations are going up. But before Thanksgiving, we have our Community Awareness Day. So you're in charge of scheduling this. And when do you start actually thinking about Community Awareness Day? And what are some of the steps that you have to do to get this thing ready?
Yeah, so that's a great question because it's a very involved day. There's a lot going on and a lot I have to coordinate. So basically, come early September, I start planning.
Right away?
Right away, initially by reaching out to some of the organizations we go to for field trips.
Okay.
I have to contact all of the elementary schools in town and the middle school to make sure it's cool that we come again.
Right, right.
And that they're prepared to have us that day to facilitate team building activities.
Now, who does that in our school? So there's 4 grade levels, and so who goes to the elementary and middle schools?
The senior connections classes.
Okay.
Get the opportunity to go to the elementary schools.
Nice.
And so we actually have organized it so that some of the Connections Plus leaders attend those trips so they can kind of help lead the other students who are not leaders and not used to facilitating activities.
Right.
They lead those kids to help them know what they're doing once they get into the classroom or the gymnasium.
Awesome. And so how do the seniors select or pick what school they get to go to? Or do you just randomly assign them?
Nope, I don't randomly assign, but it is first come, first serve. So permission slips went out last Friday, November 8th.
Okay.
At the bottom of the permission slip, students are asked to prioritize 1 through 4 where they'd like to go on a trip. And as the field trip forms are returned, I try and get them on the trip they want the most. But when that fills up, there's 20 max per trip.
Okay.
So once that fills up, I go to your second choice or your third choice,
Nice.
fourth choice, and so forth. Most seniors want to go back to their old elementary school.
Where they attended.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That's great. That's awesome. So what do the juniors do? So the juniors are on field trips too, and where do they go?
So the juniors actually have, I think, the most exciting opportunities in the building. They get to choose from an array of options. 3 of them are park cleanups. They get to clean up the trails in town, Martin Park, Labor Trail, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
There's an option to go to South Congregational Church, New Covenant Methodist Church, Hillstown Grange, the East Hartford Library.
Oh, that's great.
Some even go to the fire department where they wash trucks.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool.
So it's really getting out into the community. That's really what the juniors are doing.
Yep.
And then how about our sophomores? I know the sophomores basically have 2 options.
Yeah, so our sophomores decide amongst their connections group.
Okay.
Because their connections facilitator will be chaperoning them with whatever they decide to do that day. Some elect to stay in the building and do some of the activities that they did last year, the active acts of service like charity miles or freerice.com. There's a speaker event they can attend in the auditorium. Adventures through Connections. So they fill their schedule with opportunities that are going on throughout the building, but they're all active acts of service.
Nice.
But sophomores also have the option, if their class decides, a group consensus, that they want to rake a local neighborhood yard.
Okay.
So we have a whole list of handicapped elderly people in our community within walking distance. Students go there with their connections teacher, and they're raking leaves, bagging leaves, putting them on the side
They
of the
carry
road.
the bags, they carry the rakes
Yep.
that we have,
Yep.
and they just walk maybe like a half mile to some neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
And over the years, we've gotten lots of donations from Home Depot, Lowe's, Donors Choose rakes we've accumulated. So we really have all of that available and ready for the students to partake.
Well, let's hope on that day that it's not raining
Hope so.
and not freezing.
Yes.
Sometimes we've had great weather where it's 65 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and other times we've had snowstorms.
Yes. Last year it was raining quite heavily.
Yeah.
But there's a few groups who really stuck it out, and we were really proud of them.
Maybe we'll get them hot chocolate again when they come back. Yeah.
They like that.
And how about the freshmen? So the freshmen are here in the building,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing learning, but they're also doing acts of service.
Yes. So actually, throughout the pandemic is when we created this kind of option for freshmen, because we had to get creative, right? There wasn't a lot in the community where they could volunteer.
Right.
Places were shut down. So we looked online to find some options, such as charity miles, where they can accumulate miles by walking around the campus of the
Right.
high school.
Yep.
And this, because of app ads that run in the background of that app when the kids download it, you get to pick a charity, and as your miles accumulate, you get to choose what charity that app donates money to.
Oh, that's cool.
So we've been doing that for the past 4 years now. So students usually choose that as one of their options that day, so they'll be walking around the building earning charity miles. There's a Kindness Rocks option, which is basically like painting rocks with positive, energetic messages to
Yep.
leave throughout town, whether at the grocery store parking lot or on a trail. And it really brightens someone's day when they receive or find a rock.
At the end of the day, I always have a couple in my office.
Yeah.
Somebody somehow will drop a couple off in
Yeah.
my office. Yep.
Students really seem to enjoy that, getting down to their artistic side.
Yeah.
There's a couple of websites like freerice.com or Bean, which as you answer trivia questions in a designated area of your choice,
Yep.
the website will donate money to combat world hunger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's lots of options for freshmen, and they're learning as well as participating in service. And then the sophomores are going out in the community, juniors are out in the community, and our seniors are out in the community at schools.
Yep.
And so everybody that participates gets 5 hours of service towards their service learning requirement. How long have we been doing this? I know we talked about this before, so this is what year for us?
Yeah, so I just checked the other day, and this is the 16th year East Hartford High has been doing this.
Wow.
9th for me running it, but
Okay.
the 16th. So we've been doing this, and it's evolved a lot over the years.
Yeah, so I remember, Dan Pichette, who no longer works here, and Michelle Marion, who's now the principal at SEBA, they started this 16 years ago. And I think Sarah Berry was the coordinator for a few years in between, and then you're almost on your 10th year.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, this is great. It's a great opportunity for our school to be out in the community, and I really appreciate all of your hard work and effort in getting it set up.
Thank you so much.